Hey friends, welcome back to the Den. Today we're looking at a little mixed reality brain twister called The Lock, Mixed Reality Puzzle Adventure. If you like fiddly mechanical puzzles, surreal pocket watch worlds, and the kind of calm that makes you suspicious, this one's trying to charm your curiosity right out of your fur. Before we crack into whether it clicks or clacks, important housekeeping. This one is made and published by Skycam Studio, and it launched as a mixed reality/VR title late in 2024, so it's fresh enough to still have that new puzzle smell. Let's start with the core conceit, because it's brilliant in its simplicity. You're presented with an assortment of locks, and each lock is basically a mini puzzle box with its own rules, bits, and click logic. The world is built around treating those locks like tiny worlds. Rotate the parts, peer through the gaps, align rings, slide pins, and sometimes manipulating one part of the mechanism warps the whole little environment. It's a tactile joy if you like solving things with your hands, and it leans hard on spatial reasoning and clever mechanical design. The game clocks in with something like 55 handcrafted puzzles across several chapters, so there's actually substance here and not just an hour of curiosity. Controls and feel. If you're playing on the Quest/mixed reality setup, the interactions are comfortably physical. The game encourages you to move, to rotate your head, to use both hands. It's where the mixed reality label pays off, because some puzzles ask you to take advantage of real space movement and spatial teleportation mechanics. There's a soothingness to it. The music is quiet, the sound design leans into clicks and soft chimes, and the pacing generally treats you like you're solving something in a comm study rather than racing a timer. For folks who panic at combat or time pressure, this is a welcome contrast. Design-wise, the puzzles are the star. Skycamp clearly spent time designing microsystems that interlock. You'll find puzzles that are purely mechanical, matching shapes, aligning gears, and others that are almost little logic sculptures, where understanding the cause and effect chain is the reward. There are moments where the solution is a classic "oh" rather than a "meh," and those moments land well. The variety is decent. Puzzles hop themes every so often, so you don't just memorize one trick and coast through. That said, the cleverness occasionally hides behind overly subtle affordances, meaning sometimes the game treats you like you should intuitively know what a strange lever does, and if you don't, you can sit and stare for a while. That's fine if you enjoy the slow burn discovery. It's frustrating if you just want to press things until they happen. Presentation is minimalist but effective. Visuals are clean, stylized, and focused on making shapes readable in VR. Lighting and contrast generally help you see the bits you need to see, and the environments that frame each lock add little touches of atmosphere without stealing the show. For mixed reality players using pass-through or Quest cameras, the game blends the puzzle elements into your space with decent stability. I noticed few tracking hiccups on current Quest hardware in preview footage, but your mileage will vary by headset and room conditions. If your play space has weird lighting or reflective surfaces, expect the usual Mr. Caveats. Difficulty curve, thoughtful. Early puzzles are forgiving and teach you the kind of thinking the game rewards. Mid-game, the complexity ramps to multi-step chains that require patience and mental bookkeeping. There are also a handful of optional "oh no you didn't" brain burners that verge on fiendish. The biggest issue is the game's reluctance to provide gentle nudges. There's no hand-holding system that scans your progress and whispers hints. For viewers who like puzzle games with hint systems, be warned. This one values mystery. For viewers who want the satisfaction of figuring things out unaided, this is a plus. Length and value. With its advertised 55 puzzles across multiple chapters, the package is substantial for a VR puzzler. I saw full playthrough impressions that put the completion time at somewhere between several hours and a dozen plus, depending on how much you get stuck. If you're a completionist who loves reading every in-game riddle and teasing every mechanical secret out, there's a lot to occupy you. If you're someone who likes a narrative thread tying everything together, this one is deliberately sparse. It's a puzzle anthology wrapped in curious trinket aesthetics rather than a story-driven quest. accessibility, and comfort. Skycamp lists the title as comfortable for most players. Jumpy VR players will be relieved. There are locomotion choices, and the puzzles generally don't rely on twitch reactions. Text and symbol sizes are readable in most setups, although smaller details can require you to lean in or adjust your play space. There's no heavy reading requirement, so it's approachable for mixed audiences. If you have mobility constraints that make physical turning difficult, some puzzles may demand creative play or rearranging the play area. What I loved: the core puzzle design. Each lock feels like a micro-puzzle crafted by someone who actually enjoys mechanical toys. The tactile satisfaction of aligning parts and hearing the satisfying click of progress is rare enough these days to make it noteworthy. The atmosphere is calm and focused. The soundtrack complements rather than distracts. For mixed reality fans, moments where a puzzle's geometry maps onto your own space are genuinely delightful. What I didn't love: the lack of meaningful hinting or an inbuilt hint currency. A few puzzles rely on visual cues, so subtle that you either intuit the trick or you're cruising through a series of random experiments. Also, because it leans heavy into micro-puzzles, if you're craving story or a character to care about, this won't satisfy that itch. Lastly, as with many Mr. titles, performance and tracking are game-dependent, not the developer's fault so much as the hardware ecosystem. But it's worth mentioning because an otherwise brilliant lock can be made tedious by tracking drift or lighting issues. Developer note: Skycamp Studio both developed and published the title. Small studio energy is visible in the love for mechanical design, and the polish mostly lands. You can tell this is a focused team building a focused product, no fluff, just locks. If you're into indie puzzle craft, that's a good thing. Final verdict. And yes, we do pause. The Lock is a charming, well-made mixed reality puzzler that will scratch an itch for tactile mechanical puzzles better than most. It's not a sprawling narrative or a needle-drop blockbuster. It's a calming, clever set of locks that demand attention and patience. For what it aims to be, it mostly succeeds. But the lack of hint support and occasional opacity in puzzle affordances keep it from being perfect. I'm giving The Lock mixed reality puzzle adventure 6 paws out of 10. It's worth the attention of any VR puzzle collector or MR curious folk, especially if you enjoy the satisfaction of turning the right gear at the right time. If you're the sort who wants story and spectacle with your puzzles, go in knowing that you'll be trading narrative for neat mechanics. Alright, Foxback, that's The Lock cracked for today. If you liked this review, give a like, and if you want me to pry open more Mr. Puzzlers, tell me which key to try next. Until then, keep those whiskers twitching and those paws steady.